So last couple of sessions, we have been dissecting from a very high level, from a superficial level, I would say. So the understanding the meaning of this 14th sloka after chapter 1, and we knew that this has multiple levels of meanings, and we started unraveling the meaning, different layers, and in order to do that, we had to understand some of the basics of our Sanskritam language, and how the rishis have uh, um, cryptically saved some secrets in the scriptures. Right? So, yeah, if you want to go deep dive into the basics, you can refer to the last couple of sessions. So, and we taking some of the examples, how cryptically they have stored, that we all discussed. And at a superficial level, the meaning is, we know there are the four horses, white horses, Shvetaihi, Hayaihi, meaning white horses, yukte, with them. Mahati Syandane Sthitau. Syandane means it is a Ratham, right? So there is a reason Syandana was used, right, as we learned in the last sessions. And there is a reason that it was called Mahati Syandana. And then there is a reason Madhava. So in the Ratham were sitting, Sthitau, or standing. Uh, who were standing? Madhava and Pandava. Madhava is Sri Krishna and Pandava. And there is a reason the words Madhava and Pandava are used. We just started unraveling that in the last, and we will dig deep into it today. So Pandava is referring to Arjuna, and why Arjuna is being referred to as Pandava, right? And Divya Sankhav Pradadmathu. So they both of them have Divya Sankhas, which they started blowing those conches, those divine conches, right? That's the at a superficial level, the meaning is. And so last time we understood Syandane was used because there is a Sanskrit dhatu called Syandu Prasravane, meaning which flows or which makes it kind of move, right? So there is Syandu Prasravane dhatu means that it's related to some motion. I mean, and in that context, the Ratham is being referred here. But there is since that word means is related to motion, and we learned the motion is related to jnanam, right, in Sanskrit. So and the jnanam is related to, so it's a mahati syandane sthito, which is making a very melodious noise. This Ratham is coming, that which is carrying the knowledge. So that we connected to the real meaning is the Omkāra, right? So Mahati Syandane in this context, we discussed in depth why this would be Omkāra, right? In the last couple of sessions, you can refer to that. Then, so this Mahati Syandane this Ratham is being pulled by four white horses. And these four white horses, and here it is called, instead of calling Ashwa, it is called Haya. So Haya Gatau is a dhatu in Sanskritam, and it is also related to motion, which is related to knowledge. So the Shweta Hayas are related to, the white horses are related to the four Vedas, because it's called the Shweta because the purity, it is indicating the purity. The white, the color is indicating the purity here, like pure milk, right? Pure milk, or the moonlight milk. So it's associated with the purity. And Vedas are, since they are apaurusheyas, they are not written by any human being, or not even given by the Purushottama, Sreemannarayana, right? So they are pure in the sense they are devoid of any defects, right? And we discussed the four types of defects that are associated with human works, which are Brahma, Pramada, Vipralipsa, political correctness, or the lack of attention, or confusion, or Ashaktata, lack of capability. These are not there in Vedas, right? So we discussed in depth last. So now, so these four Vedas are carrying this Ratham, and this Ratham is indicating the Omkaram, right? And Omkaram is like we discussed, like how since the Omkaram uh, was there from the beginning of this universe. In scientific terms, we call the Big Bang that started the universe, right? So, but in our Bhagavatam also, it says the universe started. Actually, it is very interesting. Actually, when you read Bhagavatam, it kind of relates to that beginning, and the one thing that was there was right, and then from there it came the second thing. The first thing was and then from that came Om, right? So Om is a word, it was there almost at the beginning of the universe. And we learned according to our acharyas how we need to chant, right? So there are different ways of chanting: ekamatra, dvimatra, or trimatra. So that is the right way to chant. Like we discussed in that the sound that is made by a like male chicken early in the morning, right? The cock, how it does, like kakroko, that sound. So the first the small one is the eka matra, and the length of, basically matra is a period, right? How much time it takes for that sound that is emanated by the chicken, right? The kokro ko is the three matra. So you can chant either eka matra or dvimatra, trimatra. Eka matra is like om, like that. The time period between O and is the matra, right? And then is the nadam, right? So nadam can be long, but there's many people like do it in an incorrect way, which is uh, they elongate the matra during the matra. Matra, it's also called swaram, right? So the between O and it is the swaram, and is the nadam. So that is the real scientific way of doing the Om chanting, is don't elongate too much on the O, like until you lose the breath. Do it either ekamatra or dvimatra, trimatra. Ekamatra is Om, like this. There is not much period. Dvimatra is like crow, ko, like that. So crow is Om, like that. And then Trimatra is the longest one. So there are different benefits of doing whichever way you want to. The best one is the Trimatra, like Om, like that. Yeah, so our Acharya suggests, if you are doing any meditation, either Ashtakshari mantra or the Dvadasha mantra, Dvadashakshari mantra, any mantra, if you are chanting and meditating upon it to get the benefit, you can do in any of these three matras based on your convenience. But three matra is the best one. Okay, so these are the important things. Why we have to focus on Omkara so much, right? Because we know okay, so we don't have the Vedic knowledge. We may know a little bit of stotrams and slokas here and there, but the Vedic knowledge which came from the Omkara. So as we understood, right, A was there in the beginning, Om was the second thing, and then from Om after that got expanded, and all the Vedic knowledge came out of that, so according to our scriptures. So this Vedic knowledge, which is Apaurusheya, which is not written by any human being, It has like 1131 branches, and but out of which only 20 are remaining right now, right? So 20 or so, like rest of them are all gone, because the even one branch, according to our acharyas, currently the Vedic students, for them to thoroughly understand one branch, it could take up to 24 years for one shaka, one branch. So imagine, like in the Kali Yuga, the human lives, humans are being stretched so many different ways, and it's so difficult to focus. It's very, very rarely somebody, one in a million, can acquire the Vedic knowledge, and which is why the the importance of Omkara. Omkara is the essence, or the mother of all the Vedic knowledge, right? So if we just learn to chant Omkara the right way, and if we chant every day, I mean, we are all busy with our daily lives. I mean, we are in different phases of life. Different people are, right. Either you are a student or working professional or maybe middle age, so are retired people. We are in different phases of life, and we may have different time availability, of course, for chanting. So the least we can do is maybe every day we can do the Omkara the right way, even though we don't have the entire knowledge of Vedic scriptures. We can get the benefit in the sense, not like a material benefit, right? We are not, see, if we, of course, the benefit, in all kinds of benefit will be there for Omkara. You get focus, you get so many material benefits are also associated with it. These are collateral benefits, but that's not the primary intent of that. I mean, it's like you can use a diamond for as a paperweight, right? It works as paperweight too, but is that the real worth of diamond? Diamond is worth much more, right? You can use it as a paperweight, but that's the least use of it. So similarly, Omkara has a lot of collateral benefits, right? But the real benefit, it's a journey for understanding, right? So, and yeah, our, since we don't have the Vedic knowledge, we are regular people like us, we can rely on Omkara. And of course, Omkara, we chant every day in different contexts. Even if you go back to the Prarambha slokas we read, right? Without even we realizing it, we chant Om so many times. Om Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Om Namah Paramarishibhyo. All these times we chant Om, but we really don't pay attention to it, as much attention as we need to pay, right? So, and what we need to be thinking when we chant Om, that is this 14th sloka, right? If we truly understand the meaning, the real meaning of this 14th sloka, then you experience Om in a different dimension completely. So your thinking changes. Like right now we are doing Om. I mean, Om is also actually in Sanskritam, it is called Manjushika, right? Does anybody know the meaning of Manjushika? You might have heard this word, right? Did anybody come across the meaning of Manjushika? So Manjushika is like a jewel box, right? At homes, when these days people store their jewels in maybe banks, but in olden days they used to have a box of jewels at home, right? They open it and then use the jewels, and then after it's done, they close it, right? So Om is like that jewel box, a jewelry box, right? So and it's called Manjushika. Why it is called? Because the jewels inside are the Vedic knowledge, right? So, and the Vedic knowledge is like a necklace. Necklace is like a Kantabharanam, right? Kantabharanam means a necklace you wear. So when you want to chant any Vedic scriptures or a Vedic knowledge, you might have observed the scholars start with Harihi Om. Like even like Vishnu Sahasranama, we start chanting with Harihi Om, Vishram Vishnu Vashatkaro, right? Without even realizing, we chant Harihi Om. Om is the beginning of any stotra, any Vedic scripture chanting. Right? That's why it is called Manjushika. You open the box, take out the jewelry, and you do that kantastam. Kantabaranam, we do kantastam. Kantastam means arranging like a decoration around the kantam. That's what the Vedic scholars do, right? They do the kantastam of the Vedas, right? They don't. This has been coming in a lineage of Acharyas, like the oldest, the very first time, as we discussed last time, these Vedas were Apaurishiyas, and the Rishis, when they were in deep meditative state, they discovered these Vedic mantras. And then they passed it down to the next generation as a kantastam, meaning they memorize it, they chant it through their using their throat, and they passed it down to their next generation, next generation. It came down to us. And 5,000 years ago, Bhagavan Vedavyasa, who was also called Badarayana, he divided the Vedic knowledge into four, like Samaveda, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharvana Veda, right? Rigveda is like about 21 branches, Yajurveda is about 101, and then Samaveda is about 1,000 branches, and Atharvaveda is about 9 branches. So it's total 1,131, right? So he divided them 5,000 years ago and gave it to different Shishyas, knowing that our, like in the Kali Yuga that is coming down, like after when 5,000 years ago, the Kali Yuga started, people are weak, right? They can't follow the right practices, right? And they will lose this knowledge. And obviously we lost the knowledge, of course, whatever and at least some is remaining, some are remaining, because he divided them into the complete Vedarashi 5,000 years ago was in one big huge cluster. And then he divided it into 4 clusters and then passed it down through different Sishyas. And of course, it came to us. So now this entire Veda Rashi, I mean, we don't have the we don't have the memory power to know it and we get the benefit of it. But what the least we can do and the most useful thing is maybe chant this Omkāra in the right way every day. So that is the significance of Omkāra. And so now, so does anybody have any comment or any feedback on what so far we discussed? Okay. So now the Omkara. Now we discussed the Mahati Syandane Sthito. Syandana is Omkara, which is the Radham. This Radham, what we see here, this is the Omkara, and then 4 Vedas. So now this why is this Radham? Why is this Radham Mahati, right? So he called, let me type it over here. So Mahati means great, right? Mahati Syandane. Mahati is great. And then Syandane is Radham, right? So the why is it called great is because there are 2 people in it. Okay, so let's break it down in the superficial meaning and the let me draw a table here. of the attributes. So okay, actually, think one second. So let me type it down. I think it will expand. So the one column I would say Syandana, which is the Ratham, and then and so the Omkāra is there are two Rathams here, right? So basically Syandana is one Ratham and Omkāra is another. So equivalent, right? Inner meaning, right? So, and who is sitting in this Syandana? According to the sloka, both Madhava and Pandava are sitting, right? Madhava and Pandava are standing in this Radham. Now in Omkara also, there are two people, okay? Now in order to understand who are those two people, we need to break it down. As we discussed, or many of you know, Om is made of A plus U plus right? This is the nadam, as we discussed, right? And then U is the so is connecting the A and and then when you put it together, A U it becomes A plus U becomes O and Actually, our Acharya says some people started saying, okay, learning as soon as they learned, oh, this Omkara is A plus U plus they just started chanting like Aum. You might have heard people chanting like that also, Aum. But according to our Sutrakaras or Bhashyakaras or linguists or Vyakarnakaras, Aum is not the right way. A plus U should directly become O. So that's the right way to do it. Om, as we discussed earlier, right? So now this A plus U plus is the breakdown. So now this A is indicating. So okay, let me type it here. So according to our scriptures, A iti bhagavato narayanasya prathama vidhanam, meaning A is, according to our scriptures, is indicating Narayana. Okay? A iti bhagavato narayanasya prathama vidhanam, meaning Narayana is the first tattvam, and A is talking about or is indicating Narayana, Bhagavan Narayana. So Narayana is is indicated, is the Vachakam, and A is the Vachyam. So meaning it's talking about Narayana. So and also Akarartho Vishnuhu Jagadudaya Raksha Pralaya Krit. So meaning Akarartho Vishnuhu. Jagadudaya Karta, Jagadudaya. Jagadudaya means the beginning, right? Jagad Udaya, Raksha, Pralayakrit. So according to the Veda, right? Jagad Udaya, Udaya means beginning, right? Or the creation. Jagat means universe. Udaya means the beginning. Udaya means morning, we say day, beginning of the day. And Raksha means protection. Pralaya means it's going back inside everything, right? There is a cycle. It's a cycle. So it starts, Udayam, Raksha, protection happens. And then Pralayam means at the end, like just like the sun comes, and then throughout the day, sun is there, and the end of the day, sun sets. So this is a cycle of the universe, right? Akara, Artho, Vishnu. So Narayana, does all the three things. So he does he is the root cause of this creation and protection and layam. So even I think in Gajendra Moksham, I think Potana in Telugu, there is a sloka, Yavvani che janinchu jagamevvanilo nundu leenamai, meaning whoever is Gajendra when he is completely faced with distress, he chants this sloka. Yavvani che janinchu jagamevvani lopala nundu leenamai. So he captured, Potana captured the essence of him, right? Uh, so and also the Vedam also says, Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayantyabhisham vishanti, meaning, so whoever is the creator and then protector and the ending. So all the three are done by him. So he is none other than, so Madhava, right? So here A is indicating Madhava in the Radham, right? What we see in the sloka. So Madhava is especially called because Madhava is one who is associated with Ma and Ma Natha, basically, meaning he is the Lakshmi Natha. So he is associated, so if he is the root cause of this universe and he is the protector, he does everything, he is the controller, he is the Isha, then what happens? There is nobody to I mean, everybody will be scared of him, right? So it's completely, he is independent. And when he is Lakshmi Natha, when he is associated with our mother, that is when we get the protection from him. So, and even human beings are weak and they don't follow exactly what is they are supposed to do. In that fashion, actually, our acharyas say all the animals and trees who are also jivas, right? So they are also just like us, living beings. They are a much better life form in the sense that they are completely instinctual. They do exactly the way they behave. They behave exactly the way they have to. So, but they are instinctual. They don't have the level of knowledge we have. But say human beings' knowledge is like a double-edged weapon. So we take all the shortcuts. We don't do things right way. Even though our buddhi starts telling us that this is the right thing, this is not the right thing. Our manas, guided by indriyas, our sensory organs, it takes us away from the right thing to do. So we don't do the right thing always. So obviously, if somebody is a controller and who is giving the results of those actions, he would completely, this is merciless, right? But his mercy comes because of Mother Madhava. That's why Madhava in this context, I mean, he is the root cause of this Jagat Karana. He is the Jagat Karana, meaning is the root cause of this universe. And he is the Madhava, and who can protect us, who can forgive us if we unknowingly or knowingly occasionally do any mistake. So that's why when we go to the temples, our acharyas say, first go and visit mother, and then you get the protection when you go and visit him, the Paramatma. Right? Mother Lakshmi we visit first and then pray and then go, and so that his compassionate eye falls on us. Right? So now, so that is the reason this Madhava is associated with, he is the Lakshmi Natha, right? So um, uh, so now Madhava is that. Now, so the so next the comes why Pandava, right? Let me plug in my. So, right. So next comes Pandava, right? So why Pandava? Why not Arjuna, right? So now coming back to this Omkara, we understood A is Narayana, he is the root cause. Now there is another person. There are two persons here. Just like here, Madhava and Pandava are there. There are two persons. A is there, and then is there, right? So here is indicating the jivas like us. Okay, why? Why? I mean, there should be some ground for this, right? This claim. When we make a claim, it should not be like a blind, right? The next question is why is associated with jivas, us, right? So actually, there is a very good grammatical reason for it. So it's a little bit of technicality. So I mean, we need to understand um, some basics here. Again, we have to go to a little bit basics. Maybe it's not rocket science. I think everybody should be able to understand and appreciate. So we know this whole universe is made up of uh, Sthavaras and Jangamas, right? Okay, let me ask, does anybody know what Sthavaras mean? What are Sthavaras? Sthavaram. I mean, this is a very popular word.
The people have in one place and
I,
సభ్య
ఈ-
దగ్గర ఉండే వాళ్ళు
yeah.
అలా
Uh-huh.
జంగమస్ అంటే తిరుగుతా ఉంటారు.
తిరుగుతూ ఉంటాం. Yes. Yeah. We use in that context. Yes. The people who roam around in our villages, the tribals who move around, they are called Jangamas. We refer to them as Jangamas. uh, and that's kind of tied to it actually. So the real meaning is Stavaras is something which is stationary, right? You can think of, I think maybe stationary word came from this Sanskritam word probably. There's a lot of words in English that have a root in Sanskritam. It's very, if you observe stationary Stavaras, like okay, the trees, for example, right, or mountains. So, or anything which doesn't move, stationary is Thavara. Jangama is something moving, mobile, or movable. Things like all the animals, we can think of animals or humans. So, they're Jangamas. And all the Sthavaras and Jangamas, there is nothing else in the universe other than these Sthavaras and Jangamas, right? So, and we divide them. So, there are, according to our scriptures, all of them are divided into 25 elements. Okay. So, I mean, we know periodic table, right? Periodic table, how many elements like hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. We studied when we were in 12th grade, right? All of those periodic table of elements. Maybe 120, 130, whatever the latest count is. The science, modern science, day science, understood the importance of understanding those elements, and then the entire chemistry is built on top of it, right? Now, our Sanskritam, our scriptures, Vedic knowledge, recognize the same importance of dividing this into, I mean, in order to understand the nature of our body, right? The whole thing is about we can only understand something when we understand at the elemental level, right? So, in order to benefit us, I mean, we have to understand our own nature. And if we need to understand our nature, we need to understand what we are made up of, right? So, our scriptures divided this into like 25 elements, right? So, now this they're tied in order for us to understand properly. They recognize these elements based on they mapped them to the alphabets. This is going to be very interesting for those who are linguists or those who are our language, right? I'll ask you. This is very common. Basically, this has roots in Sanskritam, and even Telugu is right, and it applies. I don't know about other languages, Telugu and Hindi and Sanskritam. It applies. But kachata tapas, right? The kavarga, savam, chavarga. So let me type this kacha, and these are alphabets. Okay, kachata tapa. Is this making sense to people?
Yeah,
Right? Kachata tapa. Kachata tapa. So ka follows ka kha ga gha nya. Right? There are 5. In this ka varga, how many are there? There are 5. Okay. And then cha varga, cha, cha, ja, jha, ini. Right? Cha varga has 5. Ta varga, ta, ta, da, dha, na. There are 5. And then ta varga, ta, ta, da, dha, ana. Sorry, ta, ta, da, dha, na. Right? Thank you. So, and then pa varga is pa, pa, ba, bha, ma. Okay. So these are all 5 times 5 is 25 are the alphabets. Okay. Everybody knows. Now, these 25 elements are mapped to these 5 or 25 vargas because of a nature. It's not random also. There is a reason there. So the first 5, they map to the Panchabhutas. Right? So what are Panchabhutas? The 5 elements: earth, water, fire,
Wind.
air, and
Wind.
akasham.
Sky.
Yeah, air or wind. Wind is right, actually. So let me say wind. Thank you. And akasham means space, right? Bhumi rapo analo vayu. So kammano. So that slokam comes, right? So basically Panchabhutas. Earth, water, fire, wind, and space, they are mapped to kakha, gagha, yeah. So, and there is a reason for doing that. So, ka is mapped to the space because of the light that comes through it. So, the nature of the letter in Sanskritam should indicate the element that we are talking about, right? Okay, now Panchabhutas is the first kavarga. So, next comes the Jnanendriyas. Okay, we have. So, Jnanendriyas are our sensory organs which can sense. So, like our in the face, we have 4 of them, like the eyes, which can the indriya which gives the vision, and then the smell, and then the hearing, and then taste, the 4, and then 5th one is
Touch.
touch. Exactly, sir. Thank you. The skin, basically skin, which indriya that gives the touch, right? Sparsha. So these are 5 jnanendriyas which are mapped to chavarga. Okay. So now there is karmendriyas. Okay. So karmendriyas are 5, which are the tongue, and then the hands, legs, and the two excretory organs. So these are karmendriyas. Okay, and then there is the next one is the whatever these panchabhutas are attributes, their attributes, right? Like for instance, earth is associated with smell, and water is associated with taste, and then fire is associated with vision, right? Agni is your eye. It's in the eye. That's the scripture says it's associated with vision. And then wind is associated with the touch, like we can feel the winds touching. And the space is associated with the sound. So these 5 attributes of the Panchabhutas are called Vishayas. Okay? So now so far these are the elements. Now next comes the most important things, which are Pavarga. The first one in the Pavarga is the um, uh, the Manas. Okay? All right? We all understand Manas. Manas is nothing but what? Mind. Right? Mind, everybody, all of us have Manas, mind, which kind of makes us do things, right? Which whatever comes into our mind, we act upon it, right? Then behind the Manas, there is something which is above the Manas sitting in anybody can anybody which tells us right from wrong. Manas doesn't tell us right from wrong. Manas is always driving us towards the Vishayas, whatever Vishayas we discussed here, right? All the hearing sounds or the touches or the luxuries which are associated with the Vishayas. The Manas is always driving us towards that. I want to watch this TV program. I want to go and do or taste this food mindlessly or eating. So all of us are drawn towards these Vishayas. That is Manas. Manas is driving us towards these Vishayas. What is something which is telling us what is right from wrong?
Tapas.
What is that then?
Tapas.
Tapas.
Manas. Manasa vacha karmanaha. So manasa.
Manasa vacha karmana is in a different context, in the sense we want to do Trikarana Shuddhi, they call, right? Trikarana Shuddhi is meaning whatever we do, we accept it with manas, and then we talk what we are thinking, and we do what we are thinking. That's Sri Rama is a perfect example of Trikarana Shuddhi. He doesn't deviate anything, like whatever he's doing is reflecting what he's thinking, right? So that is in the different context. Now, what is guiding our manas, telling us from right from wrong? You know.
Buddhi.
Perfect. Thank you. Buddhi is the intelligence. Okay? So, intelligence is the next level. It is sitting inside of us and it is guiding us, telling us right from wrong. And that's why in Telugu we call Re Buddhi Leda. If somebody is doing something wrong, what happened to your buddhi, right? So that is the next one. So there is something which behind that called aham tattvam. It is a concept, an abstract concept, aham tattvam, and then mula prakriti. Okay, so these are attributes which we can't see with our naked eyes, but these are there according to our scripture. Mula prakriti. These two are the. So far, how many did we do? 4 here, right? So 20 and then 24. All of these 24, they are elements which are lifeless, meaning they are just they are things which are out there in the nature, meaning they can't operate by themselves without the 25th thing. Okay, there is a 25th one that is going to come. This is the most important thing, which if it is there, all these 24 are effective. But if this 25th thing is not there, then nothing else is functional. Okay? So this 25th one is nothing but the jiva, meaning soul. So that is all of us. Like when all of us, humans or animals or trees, any anything which is like has consciousness, right? Soul or consciousness or jiva, whatever you call. This is the 25th one. Only when this jiva is attached to a body which is made up of, or which is either made up of all these things, or which is enjoying these things out there in the nature. So these 25 elements are associated with these vargas. Okay. So now if you come to here, right, pa is associated with manas. Then after pa comes ha, right? Pa is associated with buddhi. Okay. Ba is associated with aham tattvam. Bha is associated with mula prakriti. What comes after that? Ma. So ma is the most important thing which is associated with the jiva or soul or us. Okay. So now this is the jiva here. Okay. This ma, which is coming here in the Omkāra is the jiva. That is the background, right? So the ma is associated with the jiva in the Omkāra. So now, so it is there is a dhatu in Sanskritam called manajnane, man avbodhane, meaning avabodhane, meaning so ma is associated with the jnanam. So jiva is associated with the jnanam. This is associated with the here. So this is the connection. So we are all jivas who are all having jnanam. Jnana means knowledge, right? The pure knowledge we have, right? So let me change the color here a little bit. So jnanam. Jnanam is the knowledge. So we are all jnanis by nature, but I mean, we discussed, I think probably in the about 2-3 sessions back, we gave the example of one light, white light, which is the jnanam, which all the souls have. But what is obstructing our jnanam? Does anybody recall? We gave the example of like in a holiday season here so in front of our homes we put the lights. The white light is projected onto the homes, and then they put different colors, and then the different colors are projected onto the home, right? If you put green, yellow, red colors, it's all projected. But internally the light is just white, but the colors are projecting. See, that example we gave. And similarly, even though we all have jnanam, which is like the white light, externally we are projecting different colors. Some people are like sattva gunas projecting, some people are projecting tamo guna, some people are projecting rajo guna. Why are there differences? Does anybody remember this jnanam? Why are we not able to project the perfect jnana? And why are we, like for instance, if I want to learn something, I mean, I may not be able to understand perfectly, but the person next may be able to understand thoroughly. These differences, what's the root cause of this? The root cause is the karma that is associated with us, right? So we can't explain things which we can't explain why we are behaving or why we are projecting different colors to the outside. The root cause is the karma which is associated with us. So that's why they say buddhi karmanusarani, right? Buddhi is there to guide us, but it follows the karma. If we have, I mean, it is inexplicable, right? Sometimes we can't understand why that person has done such a bad thing, right? is buddhi karmanusarani, that people say. So that's why we have to keep doing good karmas, I would say. Yeah. Or at least get the protection from Ma. So we are always blessed to do the right thing all the time, right? So anyway, coming back to this, so we are all jnanis, but our knowledge is corrupted by karma, and there is a saying, someone who is having perfect knowledge, okay, in a lineage, coming down in a lineage, right? So there's in a lineage is coming. That person is called in Sanskritam Panda. Okay, so this knowledge, jnanam, you have so like for instance, in our, when we are jivas, we don't have perfect knowledge. I mean, we have different levels of knowledge. With people like our acharyas or alvars, if you go there, they have the pure knowledge, purest form of knowledge. They are blessed with that purest form of knowledge, right? So meaning they emanate only the purity from their heart. So that perfect knowledge, whoever is having, that knowledge is called Panda. And I mean, actually, the knowledge is called Panda. Perfect knowledge is Panda. And who has the perfect knowledge in a lineage is called Panda. And whoever has the knowledge is called what? Anybody guess? Is called Pandava. Okay, so the Pandava here is the Pandava that is referred in the sloka, which is none other than us, in a perfect form of us. Of course, we are not Pandavas yet. Maybe after the entire Bhagavad Gita is done, probably we'll become Pandavas. So we are Pandava in this sloka. And Madhava is him, which is A. Madhava is him, A. And then we are which is Pandava, us. And and there is one other thing that is out there here, which is not here, is the Omkāra, right? Omkāra is nothing but the unbreakable bond between the A and right? That you can understand, right? Without the Omkāra, A and don't make any sense, right? It is a but that's not the Om. In order to have the Om together, it is the Omkāra is the most important thing, that which is the unbreakable bond between them. Like just like what Madhava and Pandava, Krishna and Arjuna in this case, have unbreakable bond, right? Because of course they are cousins, and then they're closely associated, right? And without Krishna, so basically without without Madhava, Pandava won't exist. And without Pandava, Madhava has nobody to protect, right? So the Madhava and Pandava, which are Krishna and Arjuna, they have an unbreakable bond, which is indicated by this Om, right? A plus U plus The U is indicating the unbreakable bond that they have, right? So, that's why actually but there is a difference in the sense the Madhava and Pandava, if Pandava removes all the imperfections in him, he becomes very great. And he becomes, I mean, there is a actually misconception in our scriptures according to our acharyas that you might have heard this. Jiva, after doing a lot of penance and living the extraordinary lifestyle recommended by scriptures, he becomes Paramatma. You might have heard it, definitely, in some context or other. But according to our scriptures, which our acharyas say, Jiva can never become Paramatma. Right? Jiva can become almost equivalent to, like that's what the Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 14th chapter, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, the second sloka, idam jnanam upasritya mama sadharmyam agataha, meaning mama sadharmyam, my sadharmyam means equivalence, right? Mama sadharmyam, my equivalent, you become my equivalent when you live in a very perfect manner, right? That's what we see in great acharyas when they visit us. We can see the aura around them. They always project that kind of environment around them, right? You don't feel, you're always exhilarated in their presence, meaning you're always peaceful. And when you listen to their pravachanas, you become peaceful. So that's the, and that itself is an example. And you multiply that, you become like sadharmyam with Bhagavan, right? So, and there is what we have to remember is Jiva can never become God. Human or the Jivas, we can never become God, but we can become close to him in the capabilities. Right? The sadharmyam we can achieve. And also, there is a saying, Makarardho jivaha tadupakaranam vaishnavamidam, meaning makarardha here in this context, this makaram, we can write this makaram we talked about, which is indicated in the jnanam. Makarardho jivaha, meaning jivaha means us. Tadupakaranam vaishnavam. Upakaranam means a tool, right? So we should feel like we are the tool in the hands of him. We may be doing great things like for example, VT Seva. We support a lot of people, right? Or we do prerana activities in our context if we come down to here, right? So these are some of the great things which we do. We should feel like upakaranam. Upakaranam means a tool, right? Makarartho jivaha tad upakaranam vaishnavamidam. In the hands of Sri Mahavishnu, we are like the tools. We are not becoming God or anything. We are just acting on our responsibility, just like tools in the hands of Paramatma. And that one advantage of feeling like that is you can accomplish great things without feeling any stress at all. We're just putting ourselves in his hands, right? If you feel that you are putting yourself in his hands and you are doing the right thing all the time, unknowingly we may do some mistakes occasionally, but it's a gradual journey towards becoming perfect, right? So the makarartho jivaha tadupakaranam vaishnavamidam, meaning becoming a tool in his hands, we perform all our duties. That's all we need to be doing, right? That's the important thing to remember. And also that's what even Arjuna says at the end of the Bhagavad Gita in the 18th chapter, 73rd sloka, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, Nasto moha smritir labdha tat prasadan mayachita sthito smega gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Meaning karishye vachanam tava means whatever you are saying, what I will just follow your word. Meaning I will become a tool in your hands. That's all. I am your tool, instrument in your hands. I don't have any independence, freedom or selfishness. You are making me work. and you are running me, you are making me run. I belong to you. I work for you. I'll dedicate everything I do to you. And that's so. If we these concepts, if we embody in ourselves, then that's where we come close to like living perfectly, right? If the then that is the one secret given to us by Sanjaya. I mean, of course, our rishis in this sloka. So if you go back here, we kind of understood why Madhava, who is the Lakshminatha, who is the A in the Omkara, and Pandava is Arjuna here, but it's in turn us, who are the Makara, we are associated with the Jnanam. We are Jnanis, and we are the tools in his hands, and we have an unbreakable bond, right? Whether we accept it or not, or whether we know it or not, that unbreakable bond is there. That is captured, that essence is captured in the Omkara. And this Omkara, it's the most ancient mantra that is given to us, and that we can get benefit from it. And that this sloka itself is indicating that this Omkara, this Radham, in which Sri Mahavishnu, Sri Krishna is A, and we are and then Vedas are the epitome of this. And the Vedas are emanating from the Omkara. And then eventually, this entire knowledge of this universe, Vangmayam, everything is coming from these Vedas, emanating from the Vedas. And it's going back again, when it goes back into that, in this same sequence, it goes back in the Layam. When it is Pralayam, it always goes back in the self. I mean, it's kind of hard to realize or kind of understand it, but you can draw a parallel. I was thinking how to give an example, right? Even when we were children, we used to play with something called Newton's disc. Does anybody remember, like the disc which is having multiple colors, like the primary colors are red, green, blue, or sometimes the entire Jeeyar, right? Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. You draw in different quadrants or different chords of that the circle, and you run it continuously fast. What color do you see? What will it become?
White.
Exactly. Thank you, sir. So it becomes white. And then when you again slow it down, slowly you will start seeing the different colors. Same thing with the Omkara. I mean, you can kind of draw a parallel like that. Omkara is the root, just like the white in the disc. But when from Omkara comes all the Vedic knowledge. I mean, actually, first there was A. Before even Om, according to our Bhagavatam, A was there, the first thing. Then from which came Om. And then from Om came all of this Vedic knowledge. Just like the colors that are coming out of the Newton's disc, like from white to different colors, right? So that's why Om is the most important and easily available mantra for us, and which is the essence. Since it is the essence of the entire Vedic knowledge, we chant this. We can chant this every day. When we are chanting Om, just think of this Krishna and ourselves as the bond between A and and I mean Krishna and Arjuna in this context. If you just memorize this picture and just chant Om as much as time permits, and slowly when we are in different phases of life, I mean, we can get Pancha Samskara, we get the Ashtakshari. Everybody who is born as a human being is eligible to get the Samasthana from Acharyas, right? And then we get the Ashtakshari mantra, then Dvaya Mantra, Charma Sloka, all these sloka are these mantras we can chant according to our availability or time, right, as much as possible. But we can just start with Omkara every day. Just spend a couple of minutes. Start with them. If you are very busy, extremely busy with this is the least we can do for ourselves and get the benefit. And then it's a long journey. I mean, because we are born as human beings, Acharya say. I mean, not everything is about just materially enjoying things, right? So these are some of the things we can experience. Yeah. So that is the essence of this 14th sloka. Chapter 1, I think we shot over by a lot of minutes. I think thank you for hanging out, and I think we will we'll start next week on the rest of the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. We'll end the prayer, start chanting the end prayer, and then we can, if there are questions, we can talk later. Jai Sreemannarayana. Okay.
Jai Sreemannarayana.
Om Agneya Supataraye Asman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidvan Yuyodhyasmat Juhuranamenaha Bhuishtante Nama Uktim Vidhema Om Purnamidam Purnamadaha Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Namah Paramarishibhyo Namah Paramarishibhyaha Om Namah Paramarishibhyo Namah Paramarishibhyaha Om Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha. Jai Sreemannarayan.
Jai Sreemannarayana.
Thank
Jai
you. Thanks for joining. Stop.